What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, and back with some more punk rock. And we're back to go through another song from MDC. Thank you again to Lloydy, who sent me this a long time ago, and it sort of fell off my radar, and then he commented on a video I did recently, and it was like, oh my gosh, what's up, Lloydy? And yes, we can get back to that. And a song that he wanted me to talk about and to react to is a song with, I suppose, a bit of a controversial name. On the record here, it's listed as just John Wayne, but the full name of the song is John Wayne Was a Nazi, which, if you only know his acting career and, he just played Western sort of, sheriff types and so on, you might be surprised by that assertion, but knowing a little bit about the history of this concept, I would just say, or I would point people in the direction of an interview he gave with, I believe, Playboy magazine. I forget what, it was maybe in the 50s or 60s. I guess Playboy may not have been around in the 50s. I think it was actually the 70s, now that I say that. In either case, he ended up saying something to the effect of, yes, I support white supremacy, and then he suggested until other racial groups were capable of taking care of themselves or achieving better things and so on, which I suppose that sounded nuanced to him, but very much on the surface of it, he said he supported white supremacy. So, again, it's a controversial subject because he's such a beloved figure, I think, by an older generation especially, but maybe even by some people who are into Western movies and so on today. But yes, punk rock groups, they spare no sympathy, they pull no punches, they look at concepts and people with withering critical eyes, and if someone makes a statement like that in a public venue, then perhaps it's fair to apply that designation. So with no further ado, let's give it a listen. And this is one of those albums that has lyrics on the inner sleeve, and unlike some others I have with that feature, this is actually readable, meaning I have some other records where there's lyrics on the inner sleeve, but it's like a yellow color on like a dark purple background and small point font, and it's hard to see, but I think these ones are more readable, so we'll check them out afterward. But this is MDC, the track is John Wayne is a Nazi, and it's from their self-titled, I believe. It just says MDC here on the actual record, so I'm assuming this is their self-titled album.
He liked to play SS. He had a picture of Adolf the boy tucked in his cowboy vest. Well, he would string up your mama. Sure, he would torture with your pop. Sure, he would march you up to the wall. Sure, he would hang you by your left ball. He was a Nazi. Not anymore. He was a Nazi. Not even the score. He was a Nazi. Not anymore, he was a Nazi. John Wayne spotted our Indian brothers, burned their villages and raped their mothers. Now he has given them a one-name Lord. Live with this, but that's my sword, he was a Nazi. He's not anymore, he was a Nazi. Not keeping the score, he was a Nazi. Not anymore, he was a Nazi. John Wayne fought a lot of groups in the war. We don't give a fuck about John anymore. We know his town, blood and gore. Just another form for the capitalist sword, he was a Nazi. Not anymore, he was a Nazi. Not keeping the score, he was a Nazi. Not anymore, he was a Nazi. John Wayne wore an army uniform. Didn't like to put the back that he performed. Rick like you had so much nerve. You lived much longer than you deserve. You were a Nazi. Not anymore, you were a Nazi. Not even the score, you were a Nazi. Not anymore, you were a Nazi. They show me need a Mexican guy. Press up again on Gemini. Hypocrite crowd, you're a four-wheel fight. When I see John, I'm ashamed to be white. Get fake Christians, this shit around. God's alive, you're roasting now. Well, John, we ain't got no regrets. Long to die, you're on a painful death. You were a Nazi. Not anymore, you were a Nazi. Get even the score, you were a Nazi. Not anymore, you were a Nazi. Get even the score, you're dead, dead, dead.
My lyrical analysis was keying in on the central theme pretty early on, but at the end it just basically spelled it out. So before I look at the actual lyrics, what I got from that is that they're basically saying, his movies, he, played characters that attacked, Native American tribes, or fought against people who didn't look like him, and he embodied this like self-righteous maybe but righteous figure, fighting for the settlers' rights and lives, and against other groups that on a wider view were more marginalized, and committed violence against people who didn't deserve it, including women and so on. And then now, guess what? Well, you were that thing, but you're not anymore. Why? Because he's dead. And so that's even the score. We don't need to think about him anymore, and so on. So, yeah, it seems like it's basically saying, oh, he was a celebrated figure, but if you really look closely at him, even the characters he played weren't all that nice. But at this point, it doesn't matter because he's dead. So, again, like, I know that people who follow this channel, may have different views on a figure that, again, was like famous for his movies and so on, but I do think not only a little bit that I know about his actual like personal views, but admittedly having seen at least snippets of some of the movies he's in, I think the critique is perhaps fair. So let's give this a reading. Where is it? John Wayne. So John Wayne was a Nazi. He liked to play SS, kept a picture of Adolf. I'm not aware of that, but again, there's that weird, like, fetishism that some folks have for, like, the Third Reich and figures associated with. I remember, who was it? He's like a Lemmy. What band was he the main guy of? I'm forgetting what band he was the main, like, guitarist, I think, singer from. I can't believe I'm blanking on the name, but he used to collect like Third Reich stuff, and it's like it's a weird obsession. So maybe that was the case for John as well. Kept a picture of Adolf tucked away in his cowboy vest. Sure he would string up your mother. Sure he would torture you. Sure he would march you up to the wall. Sure he would hang you by your last ball. Is that what that is? He was a Nazi, but not anymore. He was a Nazi. Life evens the score. John Wayne slaughtered our Indian brothers, burned their villages, and raped their mothers. Now he was given them, the white man's land. Live by this or die by the sword. John killed a lot of words that are used. It's a word that's used as a racial epithet for people from the Far East. I don't really feel like repeating it, but again, I get like a song like this, it's going at these concepts head on, and as I've talked about in a lot of punk rock, they'll use words from the people they're criticizing. So again, it's a racial epithet that rhymes with, let's say, books, like if you pronounce the word book in the war, we don't give a fuck about John anymore. We all heard his tale of blood and gore, just another pawn for the capitalist whore. John Wayne was wore an army uniform, didn't like us Reds and fags that didn't conform. Again, using intense language, but in a way that's criticizing those who use it in real life. What is it? Great white hero had so much nerve, lived much longer than he deserved. Is it late show Indian or Mexican dies? Is that really late? Late show Indian or Mexican dies, Klan propaganda legitimized, hypocrite coward never fought a real fight. When I see John, I'm ashamed to be white. Deathbed Christian, of this you avowed. If God's alive, you're roasting now. Well, John, we got no regrets as long as you died as a long and painful death. So again, taking a very unsympathetic view, and while I completely understand if folks find that language a bit intense and, maybe the critique seems to some scathing and over the top, the little bit I've heard suggests that he was pretty openly white supremacist, and so I think a lot of that critique seems well angled or well focused. And again, if a couple other things said there, if that he, collected Third Reich memorabilia or whatever, it's not another good mark in his favor, quite the opposite. So yeah, I recognize that big, like, culturally significant historical figures may be seen in different lights. Hopefully no one's offended by this. As I talked about in the very early days of my channel, a lot of punk rock songs address controversial issues and take, moral stands on certain things, and may do so in strident language. and that's just part of what analyzing songs like that is about. So again, hopefully no one's offended, but again, I think it's a scathing song, but one that seems fair. In any case, shout out to Lloydy once again. Big shout out to MDC. It's not a band that I ever really followed, but I was aware of them. You know, like Jello Biafra talks about them in some of his spoken word, and I was a big Dead Kennedys fan, so they were a group that I was aware of, but they were just a bit outside the core groups of punk rock that I listened to as a teen and in my early 20s. So in any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.